Hello and welcome to the F1 show with me, Enzo Hattrick, and my great colleague there, Andy Roo. How are you doing, Roo?
I'm very well, thank you. Apart from one small thing, I discovered tonight that Stephen Gilbert, or Gelder, as he pretentiously likes to call himself, is being employed by Peter Jackson to ruin another version of The Lord
Oh,
of the
no.
Rings.
Oh,
I
well.
mean, and his son, who's apparently a screenwriter. But if you go on IMDb, you find out that he's not actually been credited with writing anything. It's just
Yeah,
his dad's famous. So that's going
yeah.
to be fantastic. But yeah, I'm very well. Thank you kindly.
It's good to see everyone. We've already got people watching, so it's great to see everyone. We're sorry we're a wee bit late. I had to race my bus all the way up to Berwick and back down again to Alnwick with a few minutes to spare because it was supposed to be at 5:30 that I was leaving, and then they said, "Oh no, 6:30." So it was a bit of a hairy kind of good fun run there and back. But we're all sorted, and now we are going to, of course, we are talking F1 because we're on to our third race already into Japan.
Do they still do that? I thought it was now F3.
Well, yeah, I know. The kind of
but they use is there such a thing as F electric disabled trolley?
well, I mean, it is
using them now.
I know you showed me that video, didn't it? That short of the V10 screaming through Melbourne on the back streets, and then they did the same video with the new ones, and of course they have to kind of back off the engine, isn't it? So it kind of recharges, so they can recharge the battery. But yeah, it is a funny one. But Max has joined us, so good to see you, Max.
They have to go round the corners super slow, regenerating, so that they can get down the straight at all.
Yeah.
This is what Max hates about it. It's not even there's nothing's on the edge. I mean, when you qualify, when you're starting on 60% throttle to make sure you don't use any battery until you go over the line, and then you use the battery, and then the Duracells run out. And come on, yo, right? I sent you that video, didn't I?
Yeah.
I wish I had it
now
to show the viewers some fantastic, better than F1, more overtakes. I sent it to you, remember?
Yeah. No,
better
I mean
than F1. It was the A55, and I was standing on a bridge, and all these cars were going past each other. I mean, like, all the time. So, according to the definition of the FIA and the stupid Americans, this is the definition of the best racing we've ever seen. No?
Yeah, I know the quality of that. I mean, my thing that I did like, because I mean, I've watched both of them live, and I'll be watching it live again on Sunday for Japan. That I was quite excited because they always said that the Ferraris would be good at the start, and sure enough, they were. And the first few laps were a bit of a shambles, but it was quite exciting because they're all trying to figure out really how to get the best out of their car, when to use the battery in order to protect them, but so they can block and so on and defend. Because at one point they would go past them one straight, and then of course they'd be overtaken right back on the next one. So it was quite exciting, and of course seeing Lewis and Leclerc and the Ferraris finally being competitive and getting these great starts and going past. I mean, when Lewis went around the outside and got first place in China, I was quite excited about that. It was just great to see a bit of a battle, to see those Ferraris back in there.
I mean, it's good to see Lewis getting on with the car because he's showing some of his spark that he had before.
Yeah.
He obviously just could not get on with.
The
get on with those ground effect cars.
Yeah.
But then now he's obviously in something he's a lot more comfortable in, and that's great. And I think it is Leclerc. It is Leclerc is not happy. He's no longer finding he can breeze past his 7 times world champion teammate.
Yeah. It's competitive. I mean, although what was interesting, they've both had a third and a fourth, and yet Leclerc is on 1 point more. So he must have. I'm trying to figure out how that happens, because I'm sure he's a point ahead.
Race? Could it be the sprint race?
Oh,
maybe
one of them
was a sprint race, and they have points, don't they?
Oh yes, they've had 3 races, haven't they? They have had 3 then, in effect. That would be the thing. Yes. So they must have scored a point, and maybe he didn't, or 1 extra point in that. That's what it's been. But yeah, no, it's exciting. I mean, as they go to Japan, it's quite interesting seeing the different dynamic because you've got like Lewis and the Ferrari, and obviously the Mercedes that are quite optimistic, and then you've got Verstappen who cannot stand it, isn't it? He already chucked out
He's
a
a
journalist
real
from the
racer.
Guardian today.
He loves to drive.
Yeah, he
He
wants to
loves to
scream,
drive, and he's
those
not
engines.
driving anymore. He's
Yeah,
battery managementing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you know, it's like I was listening to somebody talking about this, and of course you were getting all the idiots in the comments going, "Well, if he was winning, he wouldn't be complaining," and that's not
I
true.
don't know. No, I
He would
think,
still be
yeah,
complaining because
yeah,
he is having no fun in that car. That's why
yeah. Oh,
he did a big Nordschleife race on the weekend, didn't he?
yeah, yeah, and he
Or
won
last
it.
week.
And then
He
he got
won it.
disqualified. Yeah. I just done my
Did he?
F1 update, and then said that Verstappen had qualified on pole, and then and they were racing at that time, and then just as I kind of launched it onto YouTube, he won it. And then within the same few hours, he got disqualified. He used too many tires, so it was all yeah. So one extra set of tires, and that was it.
Honestly, this is another thing that's bugging me about the current state of F1, and it's been something that's been a problem for a long time now. Every time there's innovation, every time something clever comes along, ban it. No, none of that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
almost like they're communists.
yeah.
We,
Not allowed to have fun. And
can't have people being rewarded for being clever and good at their job. We
yeah,
must be rewarding the people who are rubbish, and we
yeah,
need equity. And a word I hate,
yeah,
not equality, not the same rules for everybody. You see how well you do. Equity, where they force parity on everyone, and you know, I'm sick and tired of hearing people. I think it's ironic. Christian Horner, there's that clip, isn't there, of Christian Horner when Red Bull was so far ahead of everyone. Hi, Ian, and hi, Max, as
yeah.
well. I
It's
did
right.
notice you. When you know, when people were moaning about the stuff that Red Bull were doing because they were winning all the time, and he goes,
Yeah,
"If you want to beat us, build a better car," which of course is
yeah.
complete hypocrite because when
'Cause
Mercedes built a better car, he was putting in complaints about them every 2
oh, they all do
seconds to
it.
try and get
That's
them
been an
back.
F1 thing for
But
years.
it's true. If they
Yeah,
want to do better, build a better car, build a better
yeah,
team.
yeah,
So all these
yeah,
people that go, "Oh, well, they got the fastest car." Well, yes, because they're in a team that's doing the best job. It's like you say about Ferrari. They've got a trick for getting away from the line better. They put a smaller turbo on it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they put a
yeah,
smaller turbo on it. So instead of the 50 seconds of full revs to try and get this windmill
yeah,
to spin up to get the power, it takes less exhaust
yeah,
gases to spin it up to get the power. Great, wonderful.
yeah,
Mercedes have somehow managed to set, and it's all software based because other teams with the same engine like Williams and Alpine and all them, they're not doing as well as Mercedes. It's not because Mercedes hasn't given equal equipment because they're not allowed to do that. It's because they've done a better job of setting up the parameters in their
yeah,
car so that it harvests better and deploys the power better. You
yeah,
know, which of
yeah,
course is nothing to do whatsoever with the people sat in it.
yeah,
It's literally a computer program.
yeah,
So the need, yeah. But of course, every time something happens, every time there's an innovation, every time something's better, they ban it.
uh,
Just, but
yeah. I know
do we not want to
it's
see this kind of excitement of seeing what
yeah.
they
I mean,
do?
the thing is, last year, I mean, I know the aerodynamics were different, but you know, obviously there was quite a lot of closeness in the cars, but they were screaming those engines. I mean, those engines were going flat out, and I did actually find that I was getting quite used to the engine sound, and I actually quite liked it in the end. You know, I thought it was all right. It was kind of it was well tuned, and you could tell they were going flat out. They weren't having, you know, they learned how to. They didn't have to lift and coast anywhere near as much as they used to. There was a lot. They were pretty much flat out for the whole race, so you kind of felt it was going forward. And I think these huge engine changes have maybe not been the best thing because we all wanted them to go back to a V8 really ultimately, and even the boss, some of the Saudi bosses wanted them to go back to the bigger engines again.
Well,
So you know you
I
kind of
mean,
wonder. Oh,
you know why,
Jonathan
John?
is here. Yeah, I did say you
You
could
know
join
why? It's
us.
because of Audi. It's literally because of Audi. They wanted out. They were
Yeah,
desperate for Audi to join them, and Audi didn't want to. But this is something I want to find someone I can ask that knows more about these things than we do. You know, about the regulations. They've got this thing. I've said this before. I'll try and describe it again. I think this is correct. They have a regulation where the two sides of the turbo, so you've got the impeller that's blown around by the exhaust gases,
Yeah.
and you've got the compressor which blows the air in,
Yeah.
so to get the power. In the F1 cars, they have to be physically connected. And there was this whole thing, if you remember, where the Ferraris and the Renault engines and all the rubbish engines, they had the two next to each other like on a normal car, but the Mercedes, they split them and put a shaft through the engine. So we had one side of it where the exhaust is, the other side of the engine blowing stuff in. But the problem with it, the reason why Audi don't want to join with that engine and didn't want to develop it is that they've got an electric motor and a generator on that turbo to harvest electricity off of it, but also spin it up, which is why there was no turbo lag. So it kind of was like an electric supercharger rather than a turbo supercharger, if that makes any sense, at low RPM. So it could spin it up and you get the power straight away, no lag, not like the old-fashioned turbos back in the day. But then, of course, they've got to have this thing where it's also, when it doesn't need the turbo to be spun up by the electric motor, it needs to generate electricity, which is this MGUH, motor generating unit heat. So literally it's the heat of the exhaust. It's the exhaust going past, and it has a generator on it, and it creates a load of electricity as you're going down the straight. So you don't need to lift and coast. You need less coming off of the, this lift and coast. And this is why super clipping is now a thing, because they've got to be generating off the axle with the engine power. That's where all this comes from, because they've got rid of this turbo-based electrical generator. But it's complicated to work out software and valves so that it knows, the car knows when to give it power to make power in the engine, or use the turbo to make electricity. This is all what was expensive and complicated about that, because they're physically connected. But what I don't understand is why they have to be physically connected. Completely separate them. So you have an impeller that's always being driven and always generating electricity. That goes into the batteries, and then the battery powers a powerful electric motor that is operating a supercharger. And then the software is simple. This one generates, it's not connected to the other side. This one powers the engine. But no one's ever explained why they have to be connected, why they have to be this kind of old-fashioned, because they've now got, it's something me and a friend of mine were talking about in the 1990s, having an electric supercharger. But in those days, they didn't have electric motors that could do that job. Electric motors were big. Now they've got little electric motors that can spin a turbo at 100,000 RPM and do the job of a supercharger. But they don't use them. They don't develop that. And that would be great on cars, with like a mild hybrid cars or something, because you'd be generating electricity all the time from waste. The
turbo from last year, the engines that they developed, Mercedes engines that they developed from last year, had gone into their cars. The tech had gone into their cars and made them a lot more efficient and really pretty decent. I mean, for petrol, Mercedes, like an A-class hatchback, was doing much better MPG.
Even Land Rovers, they have this thing called a mild hybrid. Even the Land Rovers, they've got like a twin turbo straight six, petrol and diesel. And they've got a little turbo which has got an electric motor on it. So there's no turbo lag. And then the big turbo, a bit like the old Porsche 959 sequential twin turbos, the little one was powered by the electric motor that got the power at low RPM, and then the big one took over at higher RPM. They had that in a Land Rover, but they banned it in Formula One. It makes no sense. It's like we've gone backwards. Oh, we don't want to use metal anymore. Bronze is the way we should. Stone. Let's use stone. We're going to go forward and only use stone knives now. It's
Yeah.
stupid. Right.
Yeah. We've got a few comments here. Jonathan said, I can solve the problem. Remove the turbo and battery. Pop in a V10 engine that runs on squashed fish from 60 million years ago. And Ian has said, they probably run auto wastegate. It's, but what I think what's quite interesting, though, especially coming into Japan, is that the Ferraris, again, might have a good start. And Japan is much harder to overtake on. So if they can do what Max did last year, they could win this race. And if they made any developments at all in that car, we could see a real battle and maybe a victory for Leclerc or for Lewis, which I have to say would be fantastic.
Yeah, well,
Just to get, I think the spirits would be lifted.
It's not quite at the Mercedes level yet, but it's got a good chassis. There's time.
It seems to be quite reliable. Hopefully, it seems to be reliable. It seems to be finishing quite well in that. I mean, they seem to have dropped off. I didn't see what happened because I missed a bit of the race in China, and it was a bit where they were where Lewis dropped back. You know, he finished third, but there was quite a big gap of about 20 seconds in the end. So I'm not sure if he was caught somewhere or made a wrong tire choice or pit stop choice, but we'll see. You were about to say.
Paul Serality is with us.
Oh, Paul's. Oh, good to see you, Paul. It's been a while. Let us know. Yeah, everyone who's watching, let us know where you're watching from, and if you've spoken to us before, then speak to us again. Leave a comment, and we will do our best to answer any comments that you have. But yes, no, I mean, you see, I want to really like and enjoy Formula One because I've followed it for years, and it's been tougher over the last few years ever since Abu Dhabi 21. We always felt slightly sour because it just wasn't a good. It was a bad point for F1.
Well, it wasn't just then; it was all through the year. I've complained about that, haven't I? It's all through the year. Safety cars coming out to bunch the field up to make it more of a race, and it's like that's not a race.
We don't need that.
Cheating. If you only want 10 laps, this is why I've watched the Indy 500 once, never watched it again, because you got 500, 500 laps or whatever it is, 500 miles, 500 laps.
Yeah.
And only the last 10 laps counted because everything else was neutralized by safety cars.
Yeah.
So what's the point? I'll just watch 10 laps, thanks.
Yeah.
Same with them now. Why?
I mean, it's like they look great because Ian's just said that as well. I think they're much because they're a bit shorter, a bit thinner, so they look much more like what they should do. But as you say, they need a better engine or a more straightforward engine, a way of we don't want lifting and we don't want lifting. We want proper overtakes that are actually a real battle and proper defending as well.
Yeah, I would rather
watch to do that.
One earned skillful overtake. I mean, when I started watching Valentino Rossi in MotoGP, and you could see what he was doing to set up an overtake. Now, people say, it's easier on a motorbike. Well, it isn't. Not when they're both doing 220 mile an hour and you've got to break into a corner and not smack into them and not end up on the floor. It's actually quite hard. Yeah. And he used to set up. You used to watch him and he would set up something 4 or 5 laps early. He would try a bit of a dive. He wasn't seriously going for it. He was just seeing what they would do and how it felt. And he would do that for 4 or 5 laps and then bang, last lap, sometimes last corner of the last lap, boom, straight past them over the line. And it was like, sometimes he'd let them past, let his tyres cool, and then take them again on the last corner of the last lap or 2 corners from the end of the lap and win. And you were stood up going, because skill, the ability, you could see him setting it up. And that is what Senna was good at. That was what Schumacher was good at. That was what Max is good at. This sublime ability, and Alonso, to get past somebody where nobody else could. I mean, Lewis, at the beginning, he was superb at that, and people were all moaning, he's gone past me. And he kind of calmed down a bit, but he was still very good at it.
Yeah.
Just because a car goes past another car does not mean that's skilled or racing. It's not.
Yeah.
This is what I hate about the way they show everything on the television now. You can see nothing. They zoom in so tight you can't see anything. You can't see them working. You can't see what they're doing. They flick from camera to camera to camera to camera. And I was watching a listener video today where he's actually showing that because of the lag between onboard and the main TV cameras by the circuit, you're losing a second, 2 seconds of footage on the live broadcast. 1 minute they're back there, Then it goes to the external camera, and they're already round the corner, and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is meant to be live, and you're not even seeing it. They
Yeah.
are awful. They are terrible, and they love that shaky head cam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
not
you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Look out. Oh, you know what it's
The one
like
that
to be
really got us,
nerve
so
freak.
it was the pit stop when they had the thing, the camera on the pit stop that went upside down, and on the wheel nut
What the hell
thing.
was that
You know,
about? Who
they are
cares?
trying. They are
Oh, it's
trying
cool, mate,
to annoy
but
us.
it's cool. Well, if the racing's not cool enough, go back to watching Drive to Survive and Big Brother. Go watch EastEnders. Honestly,
It's
none of
although
it's racing.
what's quite funny, you know, at the start of the race, they have to say that the start procedure is now starting. It's like a sign for starting. You know, it's almost like that sign that says "sign not in use." But it's you know, because they have to set the start. They're going to say this now. The start procedure is there because they're all on the grid and they're ready to go. So it's just going to, in other words, build up your revs so you won't stall and you'll be able to get off the grid, isn't it? So it's quite, you know, you never had a.
What was great is you're hearing people in like the race and all these journalists that I'm so sick of the sycophancy. I'm sick of the sycophancy. Oh, it's really good racing, really, but many fans are saying most actual fans, and they're going. They're now doing this weird thing where they sit at the end of the pit lane and rev it for 10 minutes. What are they doing? Oh, I see. It's because they need to get
the power
turbo spinning so they can pull away. Pinnacle of motorsport. They used to have 1,000 horsepower, and now they can't develop enough power to pull away because they're not allowed to use the batteries until they get to 50 kph.
Yeah.
See, you'd think that's the bit where you need the battery because it's like immediate power from 0 RPM, isn't it? Electric motors. No. You've got to get going first, and then oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of work.
Ferrari's advantage is that they've put an extra set of batteries in the back that nobody knows about.
Some Duracells, some Italian Duracells. That's it.
It's like,
that's the thing.
Remember when they had that special, whatever it was, fuel feed thing that absolutely wasn't illegal, but it suddenly disappeared. Remember?
Yes. Oh, yes. Now, let me see. I will come to this because we'll see if we can share. Well, yes, here we are. Excellent. That's worked quite well, actually. Explain the numbers behind the FIA's link change for F1 qualifying in Japan. So
they're scared they're going to lose everybody. That's what the explanation is.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
Yeah, faster in every corner, yet 0.2 slower overall. That well, I read this out. Let's see, because basically they're saying qualifying, however, still needs to be looked at. The main stakeholders acknowledged those stakeholders. Many in the paddock agree that qualifying laps should be flat out and not primarily revolve around lift and coast or super clipping. The latter point is currently the case to some extent. As Oliver Behrman explained, the Haas analysed his own qualifying session in Shanghai, which led to a remarkable conclusion. The lap on which he was actually fastest in every corner did not produce his best lap time of the day. So it shows you a different way of driving, isn't it? For example, in China, we went through the whole of qualifying, and actually on my final lap, I did all of my best corners, but I actually went slower by like 0.2 because sometimes actually going faster in the corners and picking up throttle earlier, it confuses the car and you end up losing outright lap time, which is really strange. They're saying it feels unnatural. And on top of that, there are still some strange quirks under the new rule set. Charles Leclerc experienced this firsthand in Shanghai, where during sprint qualifying, he lifted by just 3% on the exit of turn 9 and immediately paid a huge price for it. So what are they going to do? Here's a lovely picture of the Ferrari there.
I don't know. The idiots that are writing these regulations, they can barely read and understand how these cars work. Honestly, I mean, at least the last set of regulations may not have been the best, but they were invented by people like Ross Brawn who knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
This new lot, they're probably people that don't drive because they live in California and they
get an Uber.
You know,
get an Uber everywhere.
Bicycle or something that's run on fentanyl.
Yes, supercharged. That's their idea of supercharging. But so to prevent a repeat at Suzuka, especially with all its demanding corners, the permitted amount of energy drivers can recharge has been reduced from 9 megajoules to 8 megajoules. So according to the FIA, this reduces super clipping by 4 seconds per lap, from 10 to 6 seconds. There is logically a price to pay in the form of slower lap times.
Read that bit again. Read that last bit again.
According
they're
to the
reducing.
yes, they are reducing the permitted amount of energy drivers can recharge from 9 megajoules to 8 megajoules.
How's that going to make the battery situation better? They've
Well,
got that backwards. Think
they
about it.
said
They're
it
super
reduces
clipping
super
because they
clipping.
can't get enough electricity. So they're going to reduce the amount of electricity you can get
Yeah,
per second, and that will mean you don't need so much electricity. Well, that's like saying, right, we're gonna you're doing too many pit stops. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the 100-liter tank and make it 50. Then you won't get to do so many pit stops.
you know,
Well,
the same people that gave the Allegro the square wheel. I think, yeah. No, that's the thing. Now, Max has said, where is it? Fast in the corners and slow in the streets. It's all backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Jonathan said, is Audi going to be front wheel drive this year? That
Well, I've answered that already. No, because that was so they wanted Audi in, and Audi didn't want the old engines, which would have been the perfect solution because they didn't want to pay for it. And then Audi wanted to do front wheel recovery of electricity as well as rear wheel.
right, yeah.
But everybody else went, no chance. You've been doing that very successfully for years in WEC. So, we're not giving you that advantage. But these regulations are from people that can't pronounce Audi.
Yeah.
Audi? Yeah, the Audis. I got the Audis.
Now, this is interesting from Alex Albon. He says, "We don't know, if I'm being totally honest, how it's going to fall out. I was on the sim yesterday, and it's all gone to the toilet because of these changes. So I think that Williams is really struggling, which it's pretty quick last year. They've really struggled. That
them and Aston Martin started the year in a just terrible place, didn't they? They couldn't even bring the cars to the first test in Barcelona. Could they?
Yeah. No, it was something that yes, it was megajoules indeed. I was paying attention to Mr. Hallows in physics, indeed, who tried to explain this to us many years ago.
So there was a Star Trek episode talking about the crystalline entity. Okay.
All right.
I found this guy, I can't remember his name now, but he's a comedian who's an engineer, and his whole comedy thing is things like, so you can tell you're an engineer and one of them is if you watch a film and you can't but help point out how wrong that is according to physics.
Yeah.
So, things like noise in space. Stuff like that. There's no noise in space. Anyway, but one of them is I was watching this Star Trek, and they were after the crystalline entity, and Data's brother, who was called Law, had sort of set up this thing with the crystalline entity. For example, yes, Ian, he was Fast and Furious. Yeah, he basically says everything in Fast and Furious. Everything. It's great. Anyway, but this thing, and they're going after, so they got this woman whose son was killed by the crystalline entity because it eats planets. And so instead of studying it and trying to contact, she just want to blow it up. So she comes up with, and this is a little thing, but a big thing for me. She comes up with, we are going to look for gamma rays because the crystalline entity kicks out gamma rays. We're going to look for gamma rays at 10 keV, 10 kilo electron volts. Now, my final year project was X-ray fluorescent spectroscopy. And X-rays go from, they're around sort of like 10 to 20, 25 kilo electron volts. So she was claiming in this script that no one had bothered to look up that they were going to be going after gamma rays in the middle of the X-ray part of the spectrum because it's mega electron volts for gamma rays. And I'm like, I was enjoying it. I was actually enjoying that episode. And then it's like, oh, and the way they said KEV, when somebody says something they don't understand, KEV, we're going to get KEV. Yeah, you don't even know what that is, do you, mate? And all the cast, KEV, oh, KEV, yes, KEV. I like armadillos, KEV, crunch on the outside, chew on the inside. So, yeah, and I think the people that have come up with the latest set of regulations. They don't know what a megajoule is.
Yeah.
I bet they think it's somebody called Jules, like my old friend,
Yeah.
who's really cool because they're mega.
Well,
What do you think?
that's the thing. Yeah, that's
Isn't
it.
it?
It's going to be interesting.
is
Oh, there is.
USH?
Come here.
Jules,
USA.
Jules, or Jules? Well, the Jules I know was Jules. The joules that I used to measure are Joules, and the other joules I've never had because I'm not rich enough. Who is USH?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Unidentified
That's
ship
quite good,
in
isn't it?
hyperspace.
Only the Japanese would come up with a great picture like that, isn't it? That's fantastic because they put the mini folk with their outfits there with their helmets on. The kids get them.
To be honest,
which I think are brilliant.
isn't that about the height of most
Of some
them?
racing drivers are quite small, but I don't think
Nick
they're that
Heidfeld
small.
was only 4 foot tall, wasn't he? Oh, it's on my.
Now there's poor old Lando Norris. Is he going to manage to even make the start?
Sort yourself out, Sutherland.
You know.
By the way,
he hasn't seen
me and Helen are going to see them. We're going to see them because they've kind of reformed. Obviously, the professor died a few years ago of cancer, bless him. So but they've got a German, a young lass called Annika Niles. They keep calling her Niles, but she's German, so it's not called that. And she's a very good drummer. She's not as good as the professor was, because who can be? But they are touring, and Helen can finally see them live. So we're going next March to Manchester. Hopefully we won't get stabbed or shot. And we're going to watch Rush live.
Yeah, London, you have to be quite careful. We got in and out during the day, and we were fine. Yeah, but it wasn't. It didn't feel very safe. That's for sure. And that, but yeah, it's gone a bit crazy. And look at that! They've got a Ferrari kind of helmet there, as if they were on a.
It looks ridiculous.
Well, it's so for Formula One, isn't it?
It's idiots.
Carlos
Sainz.
It's
all we've got these days. Idiots.
That's the thing.
He's all right, and his dad. His dad was very good as well.
He was very, very good. Now, Jonathan has said that Cornish Piastri will crash on the way to the circuit, and that's it is very good, Cornish Piastri.
Why did I not think of that?
I know, Jonathan, you need to join us live on here, man.
Cornish Piastri,
and tell us your jokes live on screen. That you've got the names for all of them. He's got great names for all of them.
That's fantastic.
Now, what have they got? Alonso, 24, all these things on there. They've got one for Stroll. Goodness me.
Why are we watching?
It must be.
Honestly, Autosport's gone down the toilet. It used to be pictures of the cars. Oh, I don't care about the 5-year-old that just got married or whatever it is. Oh, well,
it looks like the old Hulk. You know, it looks like the old. Remember the old Hulk from the before he kind of turned green. You know, when he was a wee man.
He needs to be more green.
But anyway.
Oh, it's a good one. Have you heard Lawrence Stroll saying how fantastic the management team in Aston Martin is?
Well,
Peter Windsor said, if they were so good, why is the car so crap this year? Why did people not get on top of Honda so that they built an engine that could fit in the car? Why are people not doing all this stuff if everything was so good?
Yeah,
good point. Hey, is that Ollie?
It is.
Ollie the Brolly.
Yeah, Ollie, he's done really well this year. Oliver Behrman.
Ollie's name.
Yeah, he is very good. I think he's done exceptionally well in that Haas. And really encouraging to watch. And pretty much outdone
this year as well.
Ocon. Yeah, but he's been good. Even last year he was good. He was good last year as well. No, I think in that way
send a link. I'll jump on. Send
a link. Okay, I'll need to.
Have I got his...
Hang on. You'll need to take over, Nick. Rue, sorry.
Okay.
While I quickly.
Welcome to the Andy Marr show.
Did I know? I think it's in the. It's in the
Lord of the Rings, and
it's in the WhatsApp group.
Big Brother should be included in anything to do with Formula One.
It's in the Jonathan. It's in the podcast, the F1 podcast, on WhatsApp. So it's up there. You just go scroll up a bit, and you'll see it on StreamYard, and then you can join us.
Yeah, I had to send it to myself by email because I haven't got WhatsApp on the PC anymore. My PC's definitely struggling. Windows 10. Good old
Yes.
Windows.
Yeah, yeah.
Good old evil dictator.
Oh, by the way, for folk who are watching now, if you've not already subscribed and you like what you hear, then you want to have more of this, then please subscribe. It'd be fantastic to have you on board.
No, don't.
Yeah,
Never
because
subscribe.
we've got
Never
lots
click
of
the bell.
great F1 chats that we've done in the past that usually veered onto all sorts of other topics. And we've also got, I do my GT7 lap time guides as well. And I even stream. In fact, it's my birthday tomorrow. So I'm going to do a birthday stream. So if you want to watch, tell me in the comments.
Are you finally getting to 25, Hugh?
I'm a long way past that, I'm afraid. But I was going to think, what game should I do? Should I do Le Mans Ultimate or should I do GT7? I'm kind of
well, you got to do GT7 because there has been a 1.68 patch thingy downloaded.
Yeah, which didn't make a huge amount of difference.
I need to.
Here he is. Hang on.
Probably not. Are we in? Has he
There
got
we
a
go. Hello there.
Johnny
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, how's it going? It's a bit chilly here, so I've got my hat on.
Now,
But
I had to keep my coat on in your house yesterday.
it's
It
not
was
warm.
It was that cold. It was about 8 degrees in there, 8 or 9 degrees. It does not
Oh,
look.
it's 11 or 12. It's absolutely fine.
I can see frost on your walls there, forming.
It's just
On his
water and
balls?
damp.
You can
That's
see
it.
frost on his balls?
No, on the walls, not on
You
his.
can't see my
On the
balls.
walls, on the walls.
Well, that's what I
man.
wondered.
You know,
That's my,
He
the
wants got an
walls.
extra cameras he got that I haven't.
that's my other channel. Yeah, not this one. Yeah.
Johnny Sherbert, I like that. Johnny. That.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So, we have a quick question to answer from Max. He says, how far have they progressed with AC Evo? I think there is another big patch coming at the end of April, I think. And then there's supposed to be another big one in June. And I know it's the same for AC Rally as well, which is actually very good. Very, very good. Right then, Jonathan, can you name what are your special names for the F1 drivers?
Osama bin Russell.
Okay.
Who I saw the other day is him being called the leader of the Conservative Party, which I thought was quite. Oh, hello, everybody. I'm George, and I'm in charge. I went to.
Well, he's the wrong. Well, yeah. There's Oscar Cornish Piastri.
Wrong what?
Who else was there? Well, there's a few names. Mainly they're rocket-powered Mohawks. Just nicked from him. Although Cornish Piastri is my own. I'm quite proud of that. That's good. He's just
Bearman would take Godzilla.
He can't even get to the circuit without crashing. So it's like, you know.
Well, we've seen some of the cars they get. The poor Williams drivers, they had literally like they weren't even. They were like old Jeeps or something. They had like old. They weren't even reasonable hire cars.
Crashed one recently. Who crashed? I don't know. One of them crashed one recently. Was it Little Kimmy? Little Kimmy crashed his special car they gave him.
Well, can he reach the pedals? Maybe he can't reach the pedals. He couldn't hit the brakes.
Probably not. Maybe he thought somebody was going to overtake him and he would do something stupid.
Yeah, possibly. Little Anthony. He won, didn't he, last time? Was that his first win, wasn't it? Fair play to little Kimmy.
We have a new viewer, Mark Nairn. Welcome along, Mark. It's he reckons Bearman would take Godzilla, just like it says in the poster there, and he's very much Cornish Piastri is tops. So yes.
Oh, I didn't even read that. You know.
Yes.
I was thinking it was some kind of reference to the X-Men. You know, you got Wolfman, Bearman, Bearhead.
Oh,
so he's got
Bearman.
the special broccoli hair. That's the modern thing. They've all got broccoli hair. What we all need to do is brush your hair a lot, or brush somebody else's hair a lot if you haven't got it your own, and stick it on with super glue, and then we can all look like that.
Yeah, they really go for this look these days. I mean, I'm just jealous that I haven't got any hair, but that's quite the look. It is broccoli head. That could be his name.
I'm saying, how many coats is Jonathan wearing? You look like you've got about 6 coats on there.
Well,
and a red face there. It must be.
Well, yeah, the fire is on, so
all right. It's quite a long way away.
It's quite a long way away. So yeah, it's just trying to keep warm, really.
It's a traditional northeastern house, isn't it?
It is.
Where there's one fire, and you just bask in the radiation from it. From afar.
This is literally the only room in the house above 12. So, yeah, I've got a bed heater. I've got a heated bed, so that keeps me sort of alive overnight. And then
we used to have those because we spent 4 years when I was married.
Just
We
put
spent
the
4
heating
years
on.
without heating.
Put the oil heating on.
And central heating.
I'm not putting the heating
died,
on.
And we.
The liters have come down by the time we need to refill it.
The
oil crisis will be sorted.
Don't eat. You put soap in your mouth. Spending money.
You turn that heating on.
I'm allowed it up to 16.5 degrees. That's as far as it goes.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, well, 16.5 is, that would be nice. I dream of 16.5.
Fahrenheit, not
Fahrenheit, yeah. Kelvin, yeah.
Mother says, if the ice is melted, you're okay.
Yeah, well, I have a dehumidifier, and that I have to add instead. So it keeps the air nice and just stops the mold. The black mold's been quite so bad. So moves the air.
Now, tell me, they're not going to have any. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix has been cancelled.
Yes.
The Bahrain Grand Prix has been cancelled.
Missiles.
Yes, but I think it opens up a great opportunity.
I think that's
Remember,
spice it up, though.
33 years ago, they had it at Donington in April when the weather was great. There was never a problem, and it worked really well. And
it was a great race.
It was a great race. It was a historic race.
Lap of the gods.
It's possible now that it may still have some kind of attack by a missile, considering some of the stuff that's been going on, like ambulances being burnt and so on. So it's not necessarily. I mean, it's quite close to Leicester, Donington Park.
Derby, Leicester, not far away, is it really? Knock Hill? Just if you're looking for it, would that be all right?
Or a second race at Silverstone.
Knock Hill.
Early race, that would be because at least Silverstone can handle all the
being the wrong from the wrong place.
Max said F1 as a support race for the British touring cars. That would be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be good.
They used to do the touring cars.
You need
that race we saw.
British touring cars would do it.
Yeah, we saw it at Donington after the Grand Prix. It was pouring with rain, and they had this incredible touring car race. And I remember trying to watch it because the rain was coming into your eyes. You could barely open your eyes; it was stinging as the rain was coming down. But the cars were flying on the track at Donington. It was brilliant, and you kind of think that would be the way to do it. That
Hue and Crew. Oh, you could read it. Mark's come up with a brilliant name for this. Hue and Crew.
Hello, yes, that is good, actually. I should do that. I might have to use that for the next one.
Crew in your special Scottish accent. Go on, do it.
Welcome to Hue and Crew.
That's good.
That works.
We like that.
Hue and the Crew. Hue and the Crew.
As long as licensing the name is free, because you are Scottish, you're not going to pay.
Mark has also said F1 at Knock Hill. Yes, please.
Yes, exactly. I think people should put in the chat. I don't know if anyone's watching, but if there are people watching or you watch it later, put in the chat where is the most inappropriate place to have a Grand Prix, because we've got all these races. Because of all the cancellations, because of all the wars.
Anglesey.
Yeah, the Anglesey Grand Prix.
The Anglesey Grand Prix.
That'd be amazing. But it's on an island.
Fifth gear, and you'll see what the tracks are like. You get the mountains in the background.
Yeah.
And if they come off the track, they end up in the sea.
In the sea, gone.
So it's like
you just have. So we put a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier with Patriot missile batteries in the sea, and then we put basically a line of tanks and artillery.
I was watching. There's a guy called Mark Felton.
Islamabad GP.
He's
Bradford.
He's well known in the sort of the weapons community and the history of weapons and war and all that kind of stuff. And he basically went through what we got left. We haven't got any.
Thruxton would be a nightmare. Yeah, because it's very fast on that long curve, isn't it? It's just
and there's no safety at all. So you're in the trees.
But they had a Grand Prix at Birmingham.
3000 in Birmingham.
Formula 3000 in Birmingham. Yeah.
Can you imagine that now? You have to be going, and he's through the chicane, through the rubbish bags. Oh, and what's that? He's past the Turkish barbers, straight along there. There's an illegal vaping shop. And oh my goodness, there's an exploding man.
And he's using the overtake maneuver to get past the bin lorry.
Exactly. Yeah, they're on strike. Exactly.
There's a few rats running across the track. You know what it'd be like?
It'd be amazing.
The ambulance is going to because 5 people have been stabbed down the first again.
That's it.
It's quite a thing. Yeah. No, Birmingham would be an interesting one.
Flooding into the grand opening of the very large Primark that's there.
But it would be quite a thing. But and Mark Nairn says through the bomb hole at Thruxton. Yes, that's a great corner. The kind of I love that. I love that on what was that playing that had it? Actually, they had it on. They've now got it on AC Evo. You can do Oulton Park. I quite like the national track at Oulton Park. Remember we watched the race there, John, a number of years ago. Was it touring cars we went to see when you lived near Manchester? We went. Yeah, it's near Manchester, is it not? And when you were living near Manchester, we went there for a race day. I'm sure we did.
Oulton Park.
Oulton Park.
It is.
It's near Wilmslow. It wasn't too far away from Wilmslow.
I literally don't remember that.
Yeah. No, I remember that.
Okay. What did we see? Was it caterers and stuff? I can't remember.
No, I think it was it not touring cars?
Was
or
it?
Some or GTs or something. Maybe it was GTs. But
goodness me.
Have you just happened taken out by a drone? I was just thinking,
well, that'd be good.
Bomb corner. Now,
the bomb hole.
They should go. See, I think they should go to Bahrain and Abu Dhabi in all those places because I think. Remember back in the day,
Abu Dhabi.
Little fella, Poison Dwarf, was in charge of everything.
Bernie
Eggleston.
Bernie. I can't remember his. Bernie.
Eggleston.
Remember, Bernie wanted to put sprinkler systems, and people had buttons.
I love Bernie
and stuff like that. I think to make it even more like Mario Kart's, missiles would be quite acceptable.
Yeah, so, just have the race. Instead
of being bomb corner, it would be missile corner.
Yeah, I mean, just
so
have the race.
Just get this go doo, 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 on your dashboard. You are being targeted. You know,
it'd be way more exciting. I mean, they've got carbon fiber cars. They're quite strong. They'll take a drone. I'll take a drone strike.
Can you just imagine? So it's like which of the F1 teams could partner with Vickers first to get Chobham?
Yeah.
Wacky races with oil slicks and stuff.
We have Chobham composite armor. Best
well, think of the sponsorship deals. It's like McLaren, Lockheed Martin, McLaren. I mean, it just the money they're making is crazy. So you know, Rockwell Collins,
Red
Mercedes,
Bull, sponsored by Discarding Sabo Fin Stabilized.
What?
Squash head. Challenger 3 by McLaren.
Yeah, exactly. Then, the lap times are a bit smaller.
You can have Williams driving a Chieftain that's not been maintained properly. Oh, it's broken down. Shame.
It would be wacky races, but just have the race. I mean, Saudi, Jeddah's nowhere near the conflict zone. I mean, Bahrain's a bit close. It's a bit bomby. But, I mean...
Yeah, but there was that thing. Do you remember when Trumpy Trump, Mr. Orange Man Bad, remember when he told everyone that Europe could be targeted by the Iranian missiles? And they went,
oh, yeah.
You know, like they used to do. And now it's like, oh, wait. Because they sent a few missiles to somewhere that was well within the range of hitting Europe if they went the other way. Like,
yes. Diego Garcia.
Not so funny after all, is it, mate?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Sponsored by Airbus. Oh yeah. So
I can play some
the BAE systems would be sponsoring, not BAE, Boeing. Boeing would be sponsoring drive-by-wire for Aston Martin. That way, when Alonso's losing his fingers from vibrations, it wouldn't happen anymore, would it? I mean,
that's true.
It would be going down a straight, and it would suddenly go and smash into the wall all by itself, but it would be at least no vibrations.
Exactly, no vibration until a really big one.
What was it, the 7X7 or which one was it where the plane just decided it wanted to commit suicide?
Well, that was the 737 MAX. That's what I fly. But it's just an interesting
and you're
feature.
Still alive.
It's just a quirk. A little quirk. That's fine.
It's just a quirk. That's like saying having a 50 cal machine gun pointing at you that goes off is just a quirk.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Red Dwarf thing. Where the last two crashed, but we're pretty sure we know what went wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that Red Dwarf when they're going down the super lift to get to that a space-time anomaly?
Oh, okay.
And And then they got the in the event they got the attendant video.
Yeah,
going,
the safety demo.
There is a failure of the lift. Death is certain. The cyanide pills are here. You break the car and put them there. Oh God, I love that.
It's not very reassuring.
Certain.
They were very good. So, Jonathan, are you going to be up watching the Japanese Grand Prix?
When is it?
No,
it's early in the morning. I think it's going to be about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Almost certainly not. Well, I don't have the. I don't have the Japanese.
You can come over to me and watch it live if you want.
But I don't think I have the Japanese TV.
But no, you can watch it on mine.
Just get a Toshiba or there's loads of Japanese TVs now.
Well, they're all Chinese now.
I couldn't help myself.
Oh
yeah, they're Chinese, aren't they?
It's a little bit early. I do appreciate the offer. It's super kind, but it's
rubbish now.
Yeah, that's my big Hisense one. It's absolutely huge.
Ooh, Hisense.
Yeah,
I've heard of them.
It's very good.
They're like
it's
Toshiba, aren't they?
I think it's 6 o'clock in the morning for the Japanese Grand Prix.
The problem with watching the Grand Prix live is A, I can't afford a mortgage. B, I'm not paying to listen to Croft or the F1 TV moron and Jonathan Palmer, who I want to punch in the face. I'm getting old and deaf as it is. Listening to Croft scream his head off over nothing. Shut up!
Well, the good thing about the early ones is that when I get up at about noon, the highlights are already available on YouTube. So
that's true.
The first thing I do when I get up is just go on YouTube.
Have you noticed that on the footage now, they don't show the back of the cars very much? Every time you see the lights start to flash, they click to the front because they don't want us to know when it's clipping. Because if we know, we might think it's crap. More.
Complain.
that is true.
We said that a few weeks ago.
Showing it. I no longer have a graphic showing the battery. All these things have gone.
Remember a few weeks ago we were looking at the fact that the F1 website has actually got rid of its comments because there were bad comments when people had watched the first race and weren't that impressed.
Silencing people.
And they were basically they were just removing comments if they weren't particularly positive. And even what the F1 channel, is it Matt, somebody, he was saying, he did a video on it, that they were now censoring their own comments and people's comments, which I think is a wee bit much for F1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark is saying the current regs will need serious amendments, which is definitely true. And also it's always on early.
We were talking about earlier. Line all the people that wrote them up and go.
I find the 7.5 minutes YouTube sort of recap more than enough. That's all I need. The whole thing.
Oh, I like watching the whole thing. I've got to see it.
But you get all the action. It only takes less than 10 minutes. I'd like to see the podium.
Yeah.
When I used to enjoy it, I used to watch all the practices, which they keep getting rid of. Oh, nobody watches them. I did. Watched all the practices, learnt a load of stuff, because instead of like Radio 5 Live, they didn't witter on about inane wash it, whether they're doing the washing up or what kind of cheese on toast sandwich they like. And it's like, you actually paid to talk about what's happening on the track, you idiots.
I know.
Try that for a living?
Yeah.
You're talking about your latest fridge you bought.
Yeah.
You might not find it interesting, but you are literally being paid to do it. So why don't you bloody well do it? Try that.
Yeah.
I used to watch all of that. I used to watch Brundle was great because he used to tell you stuff, and he used to get in a car and he used to explain the fastest way of taking off, which would be an interesting one if you did it now. What do you think? Imagine. I actually remember him doing that thing where he was doing a series of, this is what you need to do in an F1 car. And he was showing the 3 different ways you can spin up the wheels, or you can not spin up the wheels, or you can get a balance of the 2. And that's the fastest. I remember that. Now it'd be, What you do is you sit here for 20 minutes, full throttle, and then you pull the clutch in and you hope for the best and pray you haven't got a Ferrari behind you or a McLaren or a Williams in front of you because you're going to go up the rear end because they won't work.
Yeah, they're so variable, the stars.
Incredible. Just incredible reactions. Just missing whoever it was in front.
Oh, that was incredible.
Do you remember?
Yeah, who was the guy? Yeah, that
Behrman, wasn't it? Or somebody?
No, it wasn't him. It was... I can't remember who it was. I'm pretty sure it wasn't him.
Was
but
it
yeah,
Colapinto
amazing.
with his broccoli hair?
Was it Colapinto or Nina
Lindy
I
just remember it being somebody young with hair.
Well, he had a helmet on.
I don't know.
But yeah, it wasn't Lindy Blib Blub Blob.
No. Oh, Flip Flop Flob. Could be.
Yeah, him. Charles Lindbergh.
Blib Blob. Blib Blab Blib.
Yeah.
Blib Blab Blob. What of his name is him, yeah. What a
he's
great
half
name,
Norwegian, half Bangladeshi or something.
Let's see what watch day. This is what commentary and great commentary can be like. Give me 2 seconds and I'll put this. Hopefully it should remain the sound.
Driver's only got to marginally adjust his position on the track, left or right, to make it very difficult indeed. Anywhere. To know this Gilles Villeneuve circuit at Montreal, the driver behind him to get past. But if anybody can, Michael Schumacher will. Senna second, Schumacher third.
Yes, and this is a very interesting race now between two truly great drivers. Here we have Ayrton Senna, probably the greatest racing driver of all time, being pursued by the young man who aspires to everything that Senna has achieved and who is just as exciting as Senna was at this stage of his career.
Sorry, James.
A truly great talent Schumacher is too, and they're in pretty evenly matched machinery. Schumacher definitely has a power advantage. The Benetton's running well, but Senna has an enormous experience advantage. And he's certainly still the quickest man in business.
That was something, wasn't it? That was
Canada. That was Canada.
Yeah, at Canada, and I'll go back
to Canadian Grand Prix.
Yeah, there's some great ones as well. I was looking at the one where James Hunt's biggest kind of most.
And
he's a great.
Carrier really is completely out of order. I mean, he really shouldn't be allowed to drive in Grand Prix racing. He is. He's got a mental age of 10 in the first place, and that was absolutely disgraceful of his experience. And I would think that the authorities have really got to look at driving like that and do something about it, because he should certainly have a short suspension for that. And for being himself, he should have a permanent.
A mental age of 10.
Well, it's a sad thing, Mary. I mean, with the greatest respect, Raback is not a world-class driver, and he's in an infinitely superior car to Carlos Reutemann, which just makes a mockery of Grand Prix racing, and I'm afraid it's the current rules and all the arguments in that having argued for 6 months or more over the rules and practically broken the sport, they then come up with a set of rules which is a load of complete rubbish.
Well, either way, Hector Ribart
That's a bit like Hugh and Rue. It's like Rue's gone off one and Hugh's like, anyway.
Rue is throwing his.
Called at one point our James Hunt. And
Yeah. But that's it's But he even complained at the TV camera work there why they couldn't see the race, wasn't he? He was complaining then in those days that they couldn't get it right.
Yeah.
That
what it'd be like now. He'd probably punch somebody. You know what he's like.
Yeah.
Why can't we see the racing? Why has it changed?
Michael Schumacher going to make a good start and cut across the front of Mika Häkkinen. He's made a straight. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 laps. Pause. Go.
Consideration, sympathy, and all the other appropriate words for Keke Roscoe. He may have been prepared to move over. And look at that!
Paul and Mark agreeing with this.
That is Nigel Mansell, and the car absolutely shattered. He's fighting for control, and you can see what's happened. Mansell is out of the race now.
Yes, I remember that.
World Championship.
We've said in the past that Jean-Pierre Jarier is not always the easiest man in the field to pass. Is he going to be difficult again?
And it's given Arnoux an opportunity to have a sharp look at Tombe's The trouble
Those
is,
cars were so
it
dangerous.
hasn't really helped Arnoux because he's very there as well.
Yeah, but they make
As
Max
usual,
Verstappen look
getting in
like,
the way. He's managed
just go
to
past us.
hold
Fine.
up for 2 corners now, and it really is completely out of order.
You have to earn past them.
And Arnoux is getting through. He's getting alongside.
And he went one way, they went the other way, they went the other way again.
And
there's no runoff, just grass.
Thanking Jarier probably with a knuckle sandwich after the race, I think. And now PK just slipped through inside, and Jarier really is completely out of order. I mean, he really shouldn't be that.
That was Mamma, was he? Oh, damn, I better get out of the way.
He got a mental age of 10 in the first place.
Look how close they are to the front.
But now Prost has taken Piquet. He's coming up to Arnoux, and Senna has extended his lead to 4.2 seconds. And Prost has yet to take his fellow Frenchman, René Arnoux.
Some American goes, oh no, we can't have that.
And these normally aspirated engine cars are a very different kettle of fish to fry, he says.
There's Paul.
And all I can say to that is
there goes Arnoux in the Ford Ligier. There are very few cars left on the circuit. There's 14 running now out of the 26 who started. And if Prost comes up to any of them, this is the opportunity that Senna's looking for. And he's going through.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, my goodness. This is fantastic. They beat. This is what we were fearing might happen during the race. And that means to say that Prost has won the World Championship. And the hot news from Suzuka is that Ayrton Senna...
That's like you and I and Lanzarote.
...starting from the right-hand side of the grid, much to his annoyance. The right-hand side is pole position, and the track is dirty there. Senna asked for the pole position to be changed from the left to the left. His decision, his request rather, was refused, and the result is that Alain Prost, starting from second on the grid on the left-hand side, is actually going to have a start advantage at a circuit where passing is...
Look at the cars, look at the number of cars.
Except at the notorious chicane.
Maybe we should go back to having some cars with the new regulations.
Last year, and we all know what happened subsequently. Ayrton Senna went on to win the race.
They had a thing, I believe, back in those days, where they had so many cars wanting to start, they had a pre-qualifying to eliminate, so they only had 26 in qualifying.
On the right is Alain Prost.
It looks hundreds of them, isn't it? It looks like there's about a mile of cars.
Is Berger. The grid is clear. The lights go.
Very quick to change.
Senna sprints away, but Alain Prost takes the lead. It's happened. Alain Prost has taken the advantage. Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's happened immediately.
Now, he did say before the race, he said, whatever happens, I'm going into turn one. We'll see what happens, eh? Didn't he? Pretty much. Everybody knew what he was going to do. Look at him. He just looks at him and goes, yeah, mate. That's what it feels like.
But the battle that's going on right now for second and third places.
Oh, Blundell! Cottney.
Remember Eurosport Live? They were quite good. I quite liked their cover.
Yeah.
They were good. We used to watch that. Look at the
Martin
oil.
Brundle.
It was like, was that Hills?
They all use the same cameras. Probably. Oh!
Thank you. I don't think that could have done much.
I know some Scottish fella that did that once, and in the interview afterwards, he goes, "Yes, I was explaining who was number one." Said a certain Coulthard.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
That he was overtaking Schumacher. He used to wind me up. He said, "Oh, he doesn't know how to overtake. He's too much of a gentleman."
But the engine,
smack him past Schumacher because he's had enough.
You can see them ahead.
They could have just developed that engine more.
There's just nothing at the side, is there? It's just them, and you can see why they just died.
That is not very polite.
Oh!
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Was that Murray going? Oh!
Yeah, I agree with you, Max. You think Eurosport coverage was actually better than BBC in the early 90s. Yeah, because they had more coverage, didn't they? They would cover everything. Oh!
And Mansell just managed to hold it with the Sonora in front of him.
That was close.
And really, that was the Cesaris doing his usual
he ended up killing himself on a scooter. He had a scooter crash somewhere in Italy.
Yeah.
really. And now we see it again, and you'll see
The
the
crasher.
coming inside.
Yeah, he was certainly.
Mr. Walker, I've also got the autobiography of.
Oh, that car would not have been easy to catch.
Andrea de Cesaris, the man who's won more Grand Prix than anybody else in the history of Grand Prix racing without actually winning one of them.
You know. Well, that's Donington.
Waltzing in beautiful harmony.
He's won more Grand Prix than anyone in the history of motor
I
racing
think
without
he meant
winning one.
competed.
Yeah, he did say one. Yeah.
Well, Hakkinen pirouetted in sympathy. I would give that 8 out of 10. I think that was a rather nice little manoeuvre.
Oh, he was. Yeah, Max was. Murray was incredible in the race, wasn't he? He was incredible.
Oh!
Now get it back to the garage the short way by just driving through the grandstands.
Oh, he didn't last long,
Monaco.
did he?
Thing is, though, when you go to Monaco, even when the race isn't on, it's still got a great atmosphere. It's a fantastic place.
Well, it's a fairly short.
You can imagine the cars going round.
I always wanted to go. Back in the day, I was told for 14 euros you could get like a seat on the hill. So you might not be able to see very much, but you can hear it all, and you're there, aren't you? So
looks like another set of slicks to me, James.
It is a set of
I found footage of the race I went to. Some fantastic bits. You know, cameras at the Ost curve, and you can hear the V10s coming through the trees, and you, wow, off they go. Oh, God, I still remember goosebumps.
Yeah, well, it was. I always thought when we went to Donington in '93 that the Ferraris were actually they were easier on the ear than the Williams. Because the Ferraris had that higher engine sound in it. It wasn't quite as piercing as the Williams Renault engine. That was a lot stronger, and it was kind of you had to kind of really cover your ears for that. But the Ferrari you could kind of just listen to. It was quite a.
Was that with the last V12 sort of Ferraris? Was it?
They wouldn't be that. Well, I think they did have them in up to about 95. I think 1995.
Okay.
I find it too screechy. I found it too screechy. I mean, you've sent me the video, and it is very striking. I just find it too kind of screechy, screamy. My favourite one has got to be the Mercedes V10s from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, the Renaults were very good as well.
Howl. It kind of if you go to Harry's garage and you listen to the Porsche Carrera GT, that howl, very similar sounding engine.
Yeah, V10s are great.
I've
never driven a V10.
Yeah, no, they are something. Well, we've been going for an hour and 7 minutes, driving our viewers insane, I'm sure. But I know which is something, and we were 20 minutes late.
They're already
just about 23 minutes.
Yeah.
2004 Ferrari. Further insane.
But our podcast is, by the way, doing extremely well. So if you're listening to this on the podcast and you're still listening to this, that is, 100% commitment. We do appreciate that. We can't reward you with anything except more of it. That's with more podcasts. But we're doing quite well. We've now done over 300 episodes on Podbean.
Wow.
Which is, and we've had over 12,500 listens, which is not too bad at all. And we've had lots of interviews and more to come. In fact, next week, I'm going to be doing a special Ferrari F1 show with Levitius, a good friend of mine who's a big Leclerc fan. So we'll be doing that, I think, on Tuesday night. But I will put that'll be a live show. So we'll put that out in on YouTube as well. So we'll have that next week. And he might well join us as well for some of the F1 podcasts that we do as well. And poor old, we didn't say Simon. Poor old Simon, he'll be wondering if he's been watching. Simon wasn't well tonight. Unfortunately, he wasn't well, so he's not been able to join us, but he does hope to get with us as soon as he can. So next week, after the Japanese Grand Prix, we'll definitely have a show, and Simon will hopefully be back.
We miss you.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we wish him well. Mark has subbed. Oh, that's very kind. That's very kind. Well, we'll be doing a lot more of this. And if you know anyone else who likes F1, then please share it with them. We'd love to grow our community and have lots of good conversation and more comments and more people coming on the show. We can invite you on, and you can even contribute, and you can be just like Jonathan there, wear a Windsors hat and coat.
Yes, grill on spring.
Now that's the thing. Well, I'll let Jonathan wipe the frost off the windows and anyone else, and make sure it's not on your TV screen. But I hope it was very, very funny. But no, that's the thing. But thank you to everyone. Thank you to Rue. Thank you to Jonathan.
Laughs at my gag. Hour later. Oh,
I know. But It has been a pleasure to have you both on.
It's a joke I heard earlier. What are Frog's favourite shoes? Open-toed sandals.
Very good.
Yeah.
Where did Saddam Hussein keep his CDs? In a rack.
Oh!
No. That took a few seconds to go through the internet.
Where did General Pinochet keep his armies? In the Andes. Something like that, anyway. There was something about armies.
Right, yeah. I managed to fill up the car for just
Chile.
Yes. I managed to fill up my car today.
Somebody explain this to me, okay? So I went
full
past
tank
for just
£80. The lawnmower is now
how
full.
big is your tank?
I spent £80 and got about 40 litres or less, isn't it? Yeah, it's
I
so
walked past
expensive.
a BP garage, right, in Colwyn Bay, and diesel, well, one day it was 25 pence more expensive than unleaded. Then the next day it was 30% pence.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at this going, what the hell's going on? They haven't
Yeah,
even got to the budget yet.
As does this 165 in Berwick.
181 in Alnwick.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah, huge differences, but it will come down again. The funny thing was, Obama during his reign, he had 5 months.
Well, it comes from it's the same as jet fuel. They're going to run out of jet fuel because diesel and jet fuel are actually quite similar. Whereas petrol comes from a different part of the. You're the scientist, the scientist comes from a different part of the fractional distillation or whatever it's called. So. Yeah, diesel has to come from the Mideast. All of it comes from the Mideast.
Oh well. Well, I've filled up. So we should be all right.
Yeah, but hold on. If you got crude oil,
it's just the downfall of Western civilization.
It all comes from the crude oil.
Thing is, though, to be fair, oil was over $100 a barrel for 5 months under Obama. So, and no one complained at that. And even under Biden, it was there for 100 days, and no one complained of that. That was over 3 months.
Well, Hugh's car does 450 miles to the gallon. So the fuel costs are going to absolutely ruin him now. It cost him 84 pence to drive to London.
The Dacia is pretty impressive, I have to say.
Get my Vaseline. Vaseline is going to be so expensive.
Aye, so Rich Rees can do you up the ass. Sorry, that's inappropriate.
Well, on that note, on that bombshell, let's end the show. You know, thanks very much for watching, everyone. And we'll see you next week.
Answer is cheap though. Just once again. Wow.
Okay.
Hugh's pulling the plug. He's pulling the plug.
Like end stream is.
I didn't start that lot. I was going for the chemistry angle, petroleum jelly, but no.
Ah, right. Okay.
Dirty mind.
I'm not racist, but.
Okay, I'm ending this stream now.
Oh, no,
Thank you, everyone.
I am racist.
See you soon.
And proud.